This sports presentation of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is sponsored by Doc Otis, a new flavored alcohol malt beverage. Real lemon, real refreshment. Unlock the Doc. Pennzoil with Pure Base, made for the way you drive. Stop, go, Pennzoil. And by Goodyear, #1 in tires.
116 laps complete. The order has shuffled after caution flag pit stops, and in one more lap we'll go racing. Greg Biffle is now at the front. Mike Wallace in Fords, Randy Tolsma's Dodge, Rick Crawford, Steve Grissom, Joe Ruttman, Bobby Hamilton, Marty Houston, the 86 of Scott Riggs, and Ricky Hendrick, the top 10.
Mike Wallace made a great pit stop. He was in the top 10, but comes out in second place.
1 lap to go. Andy Houston's back on the lead lap. They're looking at how some of the drivers came in the pits and went out. Look at Kurt Busch, who lost 5 spots on pit road. "16 trucks are on the lead lap. Let's have a little review. Right on lap number 4, Dennis Setzer had trouble locking the left front brake of his #1 Dodge and pounding the wall in turn 3. Then at lap 10, Marty Houston makes contact with Tom Carey and goes around. A little later, Brian Reffner sends Andy Gensman and the #9 of Lance Hooper. Finally, Gensman collects hapless Randy McDonald. Jimmy Hensley's truck is wrecked, and Coy Gibbs spins to the infield. 4 laps ago. So let's go green and get this restarted with 82 laps to go.
Go, 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 go.
Greg Biffle and Mike Wallace out in front. The third truck is the lap truck of Brad Bennett. Stores camera on board with Andy Houston, who's back on the lead lap. Up front, here comes Wallace for the lead.
Boy, all of a sudden on fresh tires, a little swapping of paint there as they go down the back straightaway. Looked like Mike Wallace just moves right on by.
Won a couple of races earlier in the year. Has struggled a little bit in recent races, Mike Wallace.
Won at Daytona and Bakersfield, second at Homestead and Martinsville, but only 22nd last week in Milwaukee was Mike Wallace. Here's the battle a little further back. Marty Houston and Andy Houston trying to work over Scott Riggs in the 86.
Ooh, Riggs truck very loose.
Yep, and they sandwich him.
Ended up better in the 75 truck there, and Andy Houston also got by.
That 40 truck of Brad Bennett had just made a green flag pit stop about 3 or 4 laps before this caution came out. Tough break for him.
Here's that last lap with that same group. Now that's Steve Prescott outside, Marty Houston in the middle, Riggs on the inside, and the yellow and red 60 of Andy Houston moving up.
Andy gets on the inside of Bennett. Bennett is being shown 1 lap down, 2 laps down, I beg your pardon, as he made that green flag pit stop, 4 tires and fuel.
Ricky Hendricks in the 17 there. He's been very, very patient today, driving like he has a lot more experience than he does. This is only his 2nd start in the truck division, and as we said earlier, his best finish in that 1 race that he ran in was 6th.
You ride with Kenny Schrader, the Federated Auto Parts cam on board his Chevrolet. Schrader back up to 13th after handily leading the first 60 laps here.
Yes, he was the class of the field the first 60 laps. Essentially made his pit stop, took on some tires, hasn't been that good.
2 Fords and a Dodge fight for the lead. Mike Wallace the first one,
Yeah, and Dick Bergman told us when we were away at break a while ago that Talsma may not have gotten all the fuel he needed. They're having trouble getting the fuel into that truck, so that'll be something that we'll have to watch later on in the race as to when he has to come in for fuel and whether they can get the fuel in fast enough.
Let's get an update on Mike Wallace as well. Here comes Biffle for the lead. Back straightaway, and again he gets that bottom shot off turn 2 and makes it pay.
Wallace's truck wiggled a little bit coming off of turn 2, and Tolsma will take over second place.
Let's check with Dick Berggren.
Well, Mike Wallace told me this morning that he was going to run in this race a whole lot better than he qualified, and not because of any adjustments they made to the truck. Adjustments instead that were made to the driver's mental attitude. Mike has just found out that there was a rule change over the course of the winter, and that the right side of the truck weight is some 40 pounds different than it was. And he said all year long, I kind of felt like I'm just floating on air. The truck didn't feel right. He talked to some of the other drivers, and they said, guess what? We feel the same way. Mike said, I'm just going to drive this thing a whole lot harder today. I don't care what it feels like. It's just going to go fast. That's the strategy.
Well, there's the fast truck as he takes the lead. Randy Talsma, I mean, he just went up there. The Biffle is not fighting with anyone. When they pull up even with him, he rolls out. I'm sure he is racing the big picture for the championship.
Well, but it's still early, buddy. There's 74 laps to go, and we've seen Biffle give up the lead and then grab it right back.
Well, that's what he does, but I mean, he's not getting himself into a confrontation there that might get him into rubbing the metal a little bit, maybe getting a tire rub or something like that. He's very experienced now in the truck division, running a very heads-up race.
Fifth place battle down to the inside comes number 4, Bobby Hamilton against Rick Crawford.
There's Kurt Busch in the number 99 truck, also trying to take the position from Crawford.
Randy Talsma becomes the 6th different leader of this race. 10 lead changes. Pretty competitive day.
Hamilton, well, he was 7th after the pit stops. He dropped back on the pit stop, and now he's back up to 4th. So that Dodge is still strong.
He's coming. Still 16 trucks on the lead lap. There's that battle, and let's pick up the front of the field. Talsma in the Dodge, Biffle and Wallace in Fords, then Hamilton's Dodge. I think the first Chevrolet is all the way back in 9th place, Marty Houston. Look at how some of the drivers have moved up since that last restart. And Hamilton for 3rd place on Mike Wallace. Opens the door for Kurt Busch.
And I guarantee you Kurt Busch won't waste any time either. If he has a faster truck, he don't mind mixing it up at all. Even though this is his rookie year, he has really come on the scene and made a big impression on everyone.
Not too long ago, Mike Wallace was the leader. Now he is in 5th.
ASE cam on board Mike Wallace there with 70 laps to go. And Randy Talsma from Boise, Idaho is out front of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series here at New Hampshire. "65 laps to go." Leader Randy Talsma, that black and red number 25. He's past lap truck of Wayne Edwards. Here's the 2nd and 3rd place battle. Bobby Hamilton, right pretty much in the tire tracks of Greg Biffle. Ford versus Dodge. Hamilton restarted 7th following the 5th yellow flag. Now he rides in 3rd, and you ride with him.
I don't think he'll mess around long there behind Biffle. I think he'll take him at the first opportunity. And this might be it. Nope, couldn't quite get the run he needed.
For more on Hamilton, Dick Berggren.
Well, Mike, the last pit stop that Bobby Hamilton made, it seemed to have taken forever to get the fuel in it, and they're not sure if the problem was the fuel cans or whether it was the truck itself. But they are extremely concerned about the next pit stop. Apparently, running in their 4th race all year, and apparently they have got a problem filling it up. So the next pit stop could be very, very critical to Bobby Hamilton's chances of winning this race.
Well, Hamilton loosened up Greg Biffle, and now here comes Biffle's teammate Kurt Busch, who restarted 11th, and now he is up to 3rd. Wow. Takes Biffle back to the 4th spot, losing 2 positions in 1 lap.
Kurt Busch's truck is awfully good in the center part of the corner. When he gets back in the throttle, it looks like it just jumps out of there.
They are a little over 2 seconds behind Randy Tolsma, who is leading. There he is. See there how far it is?
All that side-by-side battling was a break for Tolsma. He was able to check out.
Looks in his rearview mirror and says, do some more of that, fellas.
Yeah.
And behind this group, it's another 3 seconds back to Mike Wallace, whose truck is fading and fallen into the clutches of Joe Ruttman. Here they come. Wallace, Ruttman, and 43. The red truck is Steve Grissom.
Easy. Made it. Side by side as they come off the corner there, but Grissom had a great run. Had the throttle wide open there, and Ruttman just let him go on by.
Next Saturday, CBS's three-peat of the Craftsman Truck Series finishes off at Nazareth, Pennsylvania. We'll be on our 3rd mile track in 3 weeks with these same drivers. Hope you join us then.
When you said that racetrack is unique, it is very unique. It has road course corners on it, a downhill back straightaway, tight corners, long racing corners. It's a different animal.
Been on a great show there the last couple of years.
Here comes Grissom. You heard Mike Wallace maybe just stutter step that throttle a little bit coming off the corner.
Yeah, his truck is not working in the corners. Mike Wallace is not in the number 2 the way that he would like for it to. That's where they're making up the speed on. See Griffin pull up on it as they start off the corner. Then Mike gets a pretty good bite off of that corner. It's number 2, turn number 2, now he heads to 3.
And Steve Grissom, that you're looking at there, is double duty this weekend. He's driving the truck, of course, today, and then tomorrow he'll be driving Kyle Petty's car here.